ladies and gentlemen, just want to invite you to relax and start to take some conscious breaths. I know a lot of us might be panicking a little bit. I just want to encourage you, the best thing for your immune system is to remain calm. Ladies and gentlemen, I've now been threatened with calling the police just because I'm filming.
I don't care about people.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those people who have been stockpiling toilet paper, I would like to suggest that you are stockpiling the wrong thing. For just £5, Sainsbury's is selling 14 of these, which is what most of us really need to make sure that we do not reproduce during a pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am here as part of the growing movement called Prevent, who are speaking about a very difficult subject, but a very logical one as well, and that is, we are here to try and gain some more traction with the idea that we need to prevent reproduction during the time of a pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, most politicians, in fact all politicians, are ignoring the fact that we are in grave danger that during the lockdown there will be a lot of accidental pregnancies, which is why we at Prevent are calling for the government to give these out for free. And I'm here today that anybody who would like to have one for free, I'm happy to pay for it. There are 14, it only cost me £5. Does anybody want this? To make sure that if you do get in lockdown, you do not make the same mistake that so many of our parents made. It's totally inappropriate to reproduce during this time. And for those of you who are stockpiling toilet paper, have you been stockpiling toilet paper? I'm not allowed to speak loudly. And what happens if I do? You're just a bloke. Aren't you just a guy?
You need to stop filming.
Why not?
You know, this is private property. You need to stop filming, okay?
What do you mean?
It's a private property. You need to stop filming.
I can film if you want.
No, you stop. You stop filming.
Yeah.
Just telling you, you stop filming. That's that. Yeah, not touching you. Don't touch me, okay? You stop filming. That's that. No. You know.
Don't film me.
You know.
Listen, leave him. Let him hang out what he wants.
Exactly.
Just leave him.
That's it, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, just
Because this one come here now from his home to come here to record. These people are mental.
Yeah. We are mad. There's no doubt about it. Just leave it. It'll be over shortly. Don't worry. I won't be here all day. I've got Iceland, and you know you can choose if you like. Can you hold on my face, please? No. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, for those who weren't here, if you have been stockpiling loads of stuff because you're worried about what's going to happen and how this is all going to end and whether it's going to go mad max, then you really need to make sure you have got condoms if you are in an active relationship, ladies and gentlemen. You should not be stockpiling toilet paper, you should be stockpiling these. And at £5 for 14 of them in Sainsbury's, you cannot go wrong. And I am here because I am committed to trying and prevent as many children from being brought into a pandemic as possible, because I think that's very irresponsible. Anybody who would like a free condom, this is your chance. This also, by the way, this offer is available to Aldi staff. Would you like a free condom, sir? No, you're not. You stopped. You stopped. You didn't want one. You can never be too careful, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to call the police for a guy talking in a supermarket. I wonder what the conversation's going to be like. Hello? Is that an emergency? Yes, what is it? Well, there's got a guy here in Sainsbury's and he's talking slightly louder than other people. And this guy is getting really aggressive. This guy is getting really aggressive on camera. He's being really aggressive about just filming when they've got about 50 cameras. All I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to help prevent unnecessary births and conceptions during this time of a pandemic. It's important, guys. And these are down to a £5. You shouldn't be running after stockpiling toilet paper. You should be stockpiling these. Because otherwise you're going to give birth to a whole new generation of people that are going to have to put up with this crazy, precarious life. That's all I'm saying. They're still available here. It's the condoms that you should be running after.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this man is a smart man. He's taken me up on my offer. Would you like a free condom, sir, Mr. Security Man? Would you like a free condom? What's that? I'm advertising condoms. I'm not advertising. I'm offering them free. You don't sell them. I asked you if you sold them. They said he doesn't even sell them. I'm not competing. I'm offering them for free. Because I'm very important. Why? Why do you take me all so seriously? You only work for Iceland. It's not like you work for a nice corporation. Look at all the rubbish you're selling to people. This is not good for the time of the coronavirus. These people are not going to build up their immune system with a Milky Way and fruit pastels, are they? So what are you going to eat? Well, fresh vegetables, fresh nuts. I don't know, but I mean, look at this you're selling here. It's terrible for these people. They're already vulnerable as it is. Look at them, the state they're in. The last thing they need is chocolates and biscuits. And this guy's calling the police. I've gone mad. I literally feel like I'm living in a madhouse. Can you please not push me?
Well, if I have to push off, leave the shop.
Why are you going to push me? I'm not doing anything
So
wrong.
leave the shop.
I'm just talking.
Talk to the manager and say you should leave the shop.
Are you talking about the
Yeah, I said you should leave the
He
shop.
said I should leave the shop. I'm not going to take any more notice of the managers. And you work for Iceland.
Sir, can I leave
How
the
do you
shop?
expect me to take you seriously? You work for
I said
Iceland.
leave the shop.
Please, don't push me.
All right, I'm not going to push you. Can I leave the shop?
No. Hey, you can't do that in front of people.
I can do it.
You can't do that.
I said leave the shop.
No, you can't do that. You're being recorded.
I don't care. Leave the shop.
And you will care when it goes up online and people see how you're being so aggressive. He's getting aggressive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to touch me. Move back. 2 meters. 2 meters. Coronavirus, move back 2 meters.
Legally, they're not allowed to touch you.
Please.
Even if you just
I've got an elderly father. I don't want to catch it from you.
Alright guys, if you're doing your shopping, do your
Why?
shopping.
Why?
If you're not,
There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just Iceland. Yeah, I understand, but it's my performance. It's not really your thing. It's not. Do you not like it?
I don't care why what can I remember. I say I don't care what I like.
No, I'm saying you don't like my performance. It's fine. Not everybody likes it. You don't like what I do. I see your board.
No, it is not public. It is not public place. It is not.
He's getting really angry. Look, he's coming right close to me.
You cannot use camera. You're allowed to do this. Because if you
You can go now. You can go now.
you cannot use camera, sir, because if you do, you do
Now I'll get the megaphone out, okay? So turn it off for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just been thrown out of Sainsbury's. I spent quite a lot of money in there for food for the apocalypse. I also want to have food for the apocalypse, just like everybody else, but I was then thrown out after buying 3 vegan steaks and a pack of 14 condoms for a £5. I was then thrown out of the store because I was asking people why were they stockpiling toilet paper when they should be stockpiling condoms. And at £5 for 14 of them, that is what you really want to make sure that you don't have children during an epidemic, during a pandemic. It's the worst thing you could possibly do to have a child during the pandemic, which is why you guys should be stockpiling condoms. Because whatever problems you've got now, if you start having a child, you'll have even even more problems, and so will the rest of us. So please, if you're the type of person that is stockpiling toilet paper, please don't pass on your genes to the next generation who are likely to be as moronic and selfish as you. Instead, invest in some condoms while they're still available on the shelves. You can get them at Sainsbury's, 14 for £5. Make sure you don't make the same mistake your parents made. And in this time of pandemic, please make sure you do not procreate. Now is not the time to be having children. To anybody in their precious little store so they can keep on making loads and loads of money out of people panicking. But I think that, you know, whilst you're in there, I think it's probably time for us to psychologically unpack what you're doing here, because a lot of people would say that this basically Aldi is a bit like a mental asylum, and the people in there have completely lost their I mean, you know, the thing about it is also, if you pay by credit card, just to let you know, warn you, if you pay by credit card, then the authority is going to know exactly where all the toilet paper is. And if it gets really dark, they'll just come into your house and help themselves to it. They're going to know everything about you. They're going to know that if you're living at home and you've got 584 toilet rolls, and you spend all day going up and down the high street getting as many toilet rolls as you can, they're going to know what kind of person you are. You're very, very nervous, easily manipulated, and all the information is being fed into the database as you panic because you might die. And the truth is, we're all going to die. Oh, but close the doors. I've been heckled by some doors. And I think it's probably time for us to just talk a bit more openly, and also to remember that during the time of the pandemic, it's wholly inappropriate to reproduce. It's not fair to the children. We don't know how this is going to end. But if your behaviour is anything to go like, when it gets really bad, God only knows what you guys are going to do. Start arguing over toilet paper and things like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Aldi does not sell any contraception. So I would recommend Sainsbury's down the road. They've still got a few boxes of 14 condoms for just £5. That's what you really need in this time to make sure you don't reproduce, you two. Boris Johnson has done a terrible, terrible thing. He's made a woman pregnant, which is something that is such a bad example to the people. This is the time for all of us to be extra vigilant in the bedroom, as we may at some stage be quarantined and only have our partners there, and we may be tempted to take risks, which is why I, ladies and gentlemen, am giving out these for free, not all of them, to get one each, to encourage you to make sure that you always have protection on you. I like your commitment to the amazing, wonderful business of Iceland, which provides so much business for oncologists, dentists, cardiologists, and various other doctors who are needed to try and get you through your life with a compromised immune system, having eaten too many Kinder Eggs. You know, and I like that. I mean, I was actually thrown out the shop. They called the police just because I was filming in their lousy institution. I don't know what the problem is. Who cares if I was filming? What's the big deal, Mr. Security Man? You're filming all over the place. But we're not allowed to film, are we? No, only you're allowed to film. That's right, of course you are. Because basically, we know what Iceland is, a bunch of gangsters who are flogging really bad unhealthy food to people who they know are vulnerable and quite anxious and are trying to take the edge off their existential anxiety with Toblerone. Toblerone is not going to get you through the apocalypse, is it? You need things like a little bit of, you know, spinach, broccoli, maybe some raw nuts, some good whole grains. But no, Iceland are too busy selling you awful things, aren't they? But if anybody speaks up about it in front of them and puts a camera on, you can't do that, no, you can't have a camera. That's why we need to call the police. All of the blue flashing lights are coming now. This should be fun.
Oh.
Oh, shame it was an ambulance. Really looking forward to the police coming, investigating this terrible scene of the crime of the man who spoke without permission to the people and filmed them. Can you believe it? Someone filmed somebody in this day and age. Wow. Can't have that. Go home. Has my wife been in touch with you? She's got clever ways she has to get me home. Anyway, when the police come, I'm going north. You can tell them I'm going north.